Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Today I'm going to be ranking all of the face palettes that I tried in 2023. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Alright, so before we get into today's video, I want to say a huge thank you to Ana Luisa for working with me once again. I have been working with them quite a bit over the past couple of years, and I love it so much. They have the very best jewelry pieces. I almost exclusively wear their pieces, so when they reach out to me, it's absolutely a no-brainer that I want to work with them. So if you're not familiar, Ana Luisa is a carbon neutral, sustainable jewelry brand based out of New York City, and they create very high quality jewelry pieces that start at $39. They offer both gold and silver, and they are also backed by a 2-year warranty, which I absolutely love. So they are tarnish resistant, so if they do tarnish, they break, anything like that, it will be covered for up to 2 years. I will say I've never had that issue with their products. So today I'm currently wearing the Elise Huggies, and I have these in both gold and silver because I love them so much. I just think they're such a beautiful, delicate, dainty little piece that just goes with everything. It elevates my outfits. But again, it's just so super delicate and dainty. Their earrings also never irritate my ears, and I'm somebody who does leave my earrings in for longer than I should. So we have major points with that. I am also wearing the Anna necklace, which I wear quite frequently. Again, I just love it. It goes with everything and it elevates all of my outfits. I'm also wearing the Emery ring, which is another favorite. This is just a gold band with a pretty little mother of pearl right here. And then I forget the name of this bracelet. I think it's called the Adelaide. And this is just a really beautiful, delicate gold chain with little pearls scattered throughout. So I absolutely love this one. Again, I love super low maintenance, easy to wear pieces that aren't going to irritate my ears. They're not going to tarnish. They're not going to break easily. I love that so much. And I in fact love the Elise hoops so much that I am actually gifting a pair this Christmas because I know somebody who would absolutely love them, and I can't think of a better gift to get one of my girlfriends than a pair of high quality earrings. So I'm really excited to give those to her. So if you are looking to shop Ana Luisa for your holiday shopping, they are currently running a 35% off sale, which is a significant discount for pieces that are already sitting at around $39. So if you'd like to check that out, I will leave my link at the top of the description box below. And I want to say another huge thank you to Ana Luisa for working with me, and let's get into the ranking. So I tried 8 face palettes in 2023, which not too bad, still a lot, but not too bad. So coming in at number 8 is from Patrick Ta, and this is the Major Holiday Face Palette. So he does come out with these every year. The first year was definitely a success. He had 3 different blush trios. Last year, it kind of depended who you were asking. He had 2 blushes and a highlight. The highlight was kind of a flop, but the blushes were beautiful. However, they were officially in a different formula than his original duos. And then this year, he came with 2 blushes and 4 blush toppers. The blushes are the same formula that was in his face palette last year. So the blushes, I don't mind. I quite like them. I think these pinks are a little brighter than I typically go for, but I can definitely make them work and enjoy them, and I definitely think they have their place in my collection. The main difference between these and the blush duos is that the cream shades are really more like a kind of sheer balm, whereas the powders are very pigmented. And it's kind of the opposite in his original duos. I find that I like this blush formula quite a bit. I do prefer a more sheer cream if I'm going for a cream formula. The powders are very pigmented, but they are quite nice. I will say these are pretty soft pressed, so there is quite a bit of kick up. Where this palette lost points for me is the eye toppers. I think these are beautiful. I think if there was a quad of these separately, I think I would have appreciated it more. However, one of mine is loose and it will fall out if I hold it the wrong way. These are very pretty toppers. They're just very messy. And my main concern being in something like this is that they're going to get into the powder blushes, and then I'm going to have glittery blushes. And though I'm thankful for this plastic cover over the cream, I do think it makes a huge difference. I don't think it 100% prevents the glitters from getting into the cream. So that's the only thing. I just find that these toppers are a bit too messy for my own preferences, and the pinks are a little bit too vibrant, again, for my preferences. So this isn't my favorite one. It's not a complete flop for me. It's just not my absolute favorite. I think it's beautiful. I can definitely see that some people would absolutely love this. Just for me, it's just really not my perfect face palette. Coming in at number 7 is one that had a very strange release this year. This is from Natasha Denona, and this is the Love Face Palette. So this was accidentally leaked by Look Fantastic, I believe in January, and then it was pulled off their website and then re-released, but not until March. So after Valentine's Day, when this is clearly a Valentine's release. I think the packaging is gorgeous. I hope we are going to see more of these face palettes from Natasha in the future. But this one has a cream blush, a highlight, and then 5 eyeshadows. So I actually really love the eyeshadows in here. I always love her shadows, but I really love these. In particular, I love the shimmer. I think it's gorgeous. I wish there was maybe one more shimmer instead of one of these pink shades. I think that would have been a little bit nicer. But either way, I really do love the eyeshadows in here. The highlight is too deep for me, so it's one that I kind of use as an eyeshadow as kind of that inner corner shade since I don't have that down here. This blush though, it's a cream blush, but it is that very blue, cool toned pink. I can see where this blush would not be flattering on a lot of people. I can make it work, but of course I am a little bit careful about it. I will say this does seem like it's already dried out though. It's still got a bit of a creaminess to it, but it's a little drier than I would like after not having it for even a year yet. I love the eyeshadows. The face product's not my favorite. The highlighter is beautiful. It's just too deep for me. Overall, I really did enjoy this. I thought it was lovely. I still really love the eyeshadows. I'll definitely be digging this out more toward January, February, and really loving on it then. Because again, I really do love these shadows. I just don't think the face products are the very best that she has. Okay, from this point on, I love all of these. I just had to really think about my placement. So coming in at number 6 is from Nars, and this is the All That Glitters Light Reflecting Cheek Palette. So this is their holiday face palette for 2023. The quality in here is phenomenal. That is not a question. For me, this is ranking at number 6 because the shades don't all work for me. I'm thrilled to see more of these options that are going to work for a lot more skin tones. It's just that a lot of these don't work for me, so it adds less value to my collection, which means that I'm just not going to use it as much, which made me put it at number 6. That being said, this is still an excellent formula. You get 2 highlighters and 4 blushes. I will say I did try on every single one of these shades in my original review, and I absolutely thought this was a blush initially. It's not. It's a more purpley toned highlight, easily. These blushes are really beautiful. These 2 on the bottom actually work quite well for me. I didn't think this one would, but surprisingly it does. These 2 I think are going to be better used as toppers for these 2. They are both more of that shimmery formula, and I think they'll be absolutely stunning, like I said, on deeper skin tones. So I think that is really nice. I think I could maybe use them as toppers for these. I did try that in my review as well, and it seemed to work quite well. So all in all, there's really only 3 shades that work very well for me, and that's this bottom row right here. So that's why I placed this at number 6. Otherwise, the quality in here is so good. I think Nars has some really amazing cheek products. They are known for it, and I really think that this is fabulous. Coming in at number 5 is a duo, and this is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Hollywood Blush and Glow Glide Palette. So I really enjoyed this. I heard some people say they did not like the blush. My experience, the blush was just fine. So again, this is a bit of a cooler toned pink blush, but you also get this highlighter in here. Both of these work very well for me. I think they're both very beautiful, and I really do enjoy reaching for this. It's just super easy to reach for. Again, I feel like we've been seeing a lot of these pinky toned highlights lately, and I'm not mad about it. I love it. I think it meshes with blush so much better. The shade, now that I'm thinking about it, is actually reminding me of the Pillow Talk Face Architect highlight, and I love that one. This does feel a little bit creamier, but that's what that highlight reminds me of. The blush I also thought worked very, very well for me. It's definitely a very pink blush, so you have to like that. I heard some people say it was patchy. I did not have that experience, but I just wanted to mention that because I did hear that from several people. So I just wanted to mention that. Otherwise, I think this is really nice. The only thing that knocked this down in the ranking for me personally is the price. So I'm not necessarily counting price toward a lot of these, but this is very small. This is the palm of my hand. I know in US dollars this is $29, which is not bad. In Canadian dollars, it's $40. I think this is awfully small for $40. That's all. Coming in at number 4 is the other Nars face palette that they released this year. This is their Orgasm Foreplay Blush Quad. So they actually released this all the way back in January. And this one I love. This one is more of their classic Orgasm face palette. You get the shade Orgasm in here. There's Orgasm X and Orgasm Rush, and then you get Swinger up here. The highlight is too deep for me, but all of the blushes actually work for me very, very well, which is what made this one come ahead of the other one. I love this. I love the baby pink packaging. There was also an eyeshadow palette released with this one, which you will see in the eyeshadow palette ranking video, but I really did love this quad. I actually reached for this quite a few times. This has gone with a lot of different things. I did someone's wedding makeup this year, and I did bring this quad. So I think that says a lot. I really, really enjoy this one. I think it's beautiful. The quality's great. And again, I know Nars creates the same things over and over and over again. It is because they're good and it's what works. So I can't fault this. I think it's wonderful. Coming in at number 3 is the most innovative face palette that came out this year. This is from Danessa Myrix. This is the Groundwork Defining Neutrals palette. So first of all, acknowledging the packaging. This packaging is absolutely fabulous. It has like this worn leather on the outer portion, and then it's got this heavy metal plate here, which I think is so nice. I think it really adds to the luxury feel of the palette. Opening this up, I will say there is a scent here. I don't know what the scent is. It is a bit strong, but if you can get past that, this is a phenomenal palette. So initially I had some concerns because these two shades had fibers on the pomades when I first got it, but it turns out that everybody's had that, so it's completely normal. I just brushed it away and they seem to be fine. So there is 10 different shades in here. Each one has a pomade and a powder. I do wish the pans were either split evenly or the powders were a little bigger. I do tend to reach for powders a little bit more. This can be used on the eyes, but as well all over the face as contour, as highlight, whatever you want to do with it. So I do love the powders for eyeshadow, a simple matte look. This shade up here has been my go-to brow pomade this year. I've been using that a ton and I just really, really enjoy it. This shade over here made for a great contour. It's such a blendable pomade formula. It's a little bit more sheer, so it's easy to blend, easy to work with. The pomades are surprisingly easy to work with. The powders are nice as well. I feel like they're not the most buttery powders, but they still work very, very well. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is that the powder pans are so small because I do find it hard to get a brush in there if you're using them for face products. For eyeshadows, I don't mind at all, but if I want to use them on my face, it's a little harder. The quality of these is wonderful. It's all very long wearing. It's much easier to work with than you might think. When I initially ordered this palette, I was really excited about it, but then I started to get my doubts while I was waiting for it to come in because I thought, I don't know how to use that. That seems very complicated. It's a lot less complicated and confusing than it sounds. I was able to figure it out quite quickly and I've really been enjoying it, and because it is kind of unique, it really does add to my collection. I do think it will have a bit more of a value for a working makeup artist, just given that you have so many different shades. I really do think it has more of a value for a professional, but if you're like me and you just love makeup and you love having all the options, I think this is such a good palette. The last two had a real showdown. Number 2 is one I don't even know if I've mentioned yet because it came in so late, but this is the Pat McGrath Divine Blush, Bronze, and Glow Trio in Forever Nude. So her holiday collection launched in September, but this one was super delayed coming in. I guess it was out of stock originally, but I ended up getting this finally in November and I love it. So we know I love all of these formulas from Pat McGrath. Quite honestly, I rave about her blushes all the time. The bronzer, this is in the shade Nude Honey, which I believe is a step above the one I already have, which is Naked Desire. This one is also super, super light, so if you're as fair as I am, this will work perfectly for you. It's a touch deeper, but it's still wonderful. Naked Peony is actually such a pretty blush. I don't know why I decided to swatch with this hand, but it's a very pink blush, but it just looks so pretty and flattering. Again, you can see that that is very, very light. I'm not sure if that's coming off on camera, but my absolute favorite is the highlight in Opal Allure. It is another pinky toned highlight. I am loving these pinky toned highlights so much. I love that I can grab this and get my full face done. A lot of the other face palettes that we've talked about either just have blushes or blushes and highlights, but this one has blush, bronzer, highlight done. It's so good. So easy to work with. All of this is up to par with her typical formula. She definitely didn't skimp on these the way I feel like sometimes she may do with her larger holiday palettes. She did not skimp on these and I absolutely love this. Quality, shades, everything. Love it. And coming in at number 1, I'm sure is no surprise. This is from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Jellyfish palette. And I do love this. I love this so much. So in here you get a bronzer, 2 finishing powders, 2 blushes, and a highlight. This highlight is yet another pinky toned highlight and absolutely nothing makes me happier. I love this highlight so much. The blushes in here are so beautiful. I reach for this one all the time because it's kind of that mauve nude and I just absolutely love it. That's like my favorite blush shade for the winter months. In the spring and summer, I am all about those peach blushes, but in the winter, I just want mauve nude all the time. The bronzer is a little warm for me, but it still works very well. The finishing powder is absolutely stunning. This is definitely my very favorite face palette they've ever done. I was so tempted so many times to grab the leopard palette, but honestly, I don't need it. And it's definitely going to flatter a deeper skin tone more than mine. So I told myself to stick with what I already have, which was smart. That being said, I do love this so much. I know these are very pricey, very expensive, but quite honestly, these are worth it. If you were to add up 6 of their mini products, it's way more than the cost of this. So I do highly recommend these palettes. I think they're wonderful. I think they're a great value, and I don't think you're going to find better quality anywhere. And that is it. Those are the 8 face palettes I tried in 2023. Let me know down below what your favorite face palette of the year was. Are there any that I should try out? Did you try out any of these? What are your thoughts? I love hearing from you guys so much. And once again, if you'd like to shop Ana Luisa, they are currently 35% off, so I will leave my link down below. And I want to say a huge thank you to them once again for working with me on today's video. And that is it for me today. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!